You're listening to Real Talk Texas with local expert Steve Hakes. Now, here's Steve.
Welcome back to Real Talk Texas. We've got in the studio today two really great experts in the Mid-Cities area in the real estate business. They're here to talk about what's happening in North Texas as a whole in the marketplace. And Laurie's got some figures she's going to share with us as to what's happened statistically. But I'm even more interested in her personal take, since she really is an expert, and we consider her an expert on the show here. And I want to get, Laurie, your take on what's going on out there. I mean, we keep hearing that they've had a unforeseen flip in the marketplace. It's a seller's market. Prices are going up. I'm seeing appraisals come in light because the appraisers can't keep up with the value increases that are out there. Mm-hmm. So those things are renegotiated at sometimes. And so there's a lot going on in our market here in North Texas. What's your take on what's happening?
Well, the word flip is exactly right. It just flipped overnight. And so what we are seeing is a shortage of supply. Our buyer agents have been Johnny on the spot, thank goodness, with several of our buyers so far this year, and they've been writing offers within hours of homes coming on the market and still lost out. But I have to say they won out plenty of times too, and they have to go in with, everyone has to go in with the strongest offer possible. Have to be totally pre-approved going in with a large amount of earnest money, all the terms in the seller's favor, and that's what we're seeing. So on the listing side, I list the homes on our team, and our sellers are feeling pretty confident, and they're wanting above top dollar for their home, and to me, some of them are getting it.
Really?
I'm really surprised and amazed. And having been in real estate for, really up to 30 years now, I've never seen it this hot. Yeah. I've never seen a market this hot.
And I haven't really seen that either, but we've been talking a lot on the show about, back in August, we've seen a lot of money being spent on our highways being expanded. The great report that I read always is out of the Texas A&M Real Estate School. There's a professor there each year, and he speaks a lot of the mortgage banker conferences and realtor conferences, and he talks about, that the Texas market as a whole, because it's such a job-friendly area, North Texas, the Metroplex, DFW, it's just under 7 million people. And he's predicting that by 2030, we're going to be at 13 million people. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of people coming into this area. And maybe your buyers are right. They're holding out. And I really have been predicting that we're going to see price increases like we've never seen here before. We've always been a really flat, 5% increase each year, just kind of creeping along, very stable marketplace. But maybe you can share some statistics. The first quarter started off a lot different than that, right?
The first quarter is amazing. The sales compared to a year ago for single-family homes was up 22%, and that the average price was up 9% over a year ago. That was just the first quarter. I know when we see the updated figures for April and May, it's probably going to be higher than that.
Well, and the first quarter is usually a slow quarter.
And it was. It did get a little bit of a slow start, but then it really took off.
Prices went up in a slow volume area. That's got to tell you something.
It's a big deal.
And I think we should mention that those statistics are North Texas wide.
Yes. Yeah, okay. They're for all of the North Texas region. Couple other things that are important to know is that active listings are down 22%, but pending sales, new contracts are up 17%. So that really shows you that there are way less listings, a lot more buyers, a lot more contracts. So that's the reason for the shortage.
And that's simple supply and demand that's going to drive prices up, in any marketplace, I think. And real estate's no different than any commodity, I think. Mm-hmm. So in your take, so what are you advising your clients? I mean, how are you – I heard you said earlier that, the sellers, are putting their price way up there. I personally have said, our pricing kind of hit a top in the 2005, 2006 time frame. Then it's dropped maybe 10, 15%. It's not California or Florida. We don't have that dramatic drop. But especially in the higher-end homes, I really think we're going to get back to 2005, 2006 levels by the end of this year. And that would be a snap back for us in North Texas. We're used to 5% steady eddy. And already we're seeing a big difference there.
Yeah, I hope you're right, because that would be great for a lot of people. And the neat thing is, so many people who did purchase in 2005, 6, 7, 8, they could not sell over the last few years. They wanted to move, needed to move, but could not afford to. So now that those prices are snapping back, all of those people are flooding into the market. They're also buyers. They're not just sellers, but they're also buyers. And we are telling them to make your move now, because interest rates are not going to stay low. This is like the perfect timing in history for interest rates to be low and prices to still be affordable.
Right. If you're buying now, you're getting the advantage of low interest rates, which is incredible. I mean, still can't get over what we're doing loans for today. And we're also you've already missed the bottom. You've already missed, the bottom's over. Now prices are already going up. Don't freak out because you're having to pay a little more than you would have 2 months ago. Buy now, because it's going to be higher by the end of this year, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what you're seeing. Is there any price points that are hotter than others, Laurie?
Yes. Well, of course, the price range that's the greatest price range of the most number of sales this year so far, of course, is the 100 to 150 price range. And, of course, the second highest is the 150 to 200. But 200 to 250 is very strong, up 11% over last year, or up is part of 11% of the market. Where it starts to slow down and it's not necessarily as hot a market, or is the 600 and up in that price range. It has not really gotten hot yet.
Right. And so, one of the things we've talked about on the show, and we've had in the last we had D.R. Horton on the show in the last couple of weeks, and we've had Guillen Homes. So some of the new build stuff that's going on, they went through a period of time over the last 3 years where they had limited supply. They weren't putting that much inventory out there because they weren't confident in the marketplace. And they were getting price decreases or discounts on ones when they get to a certain phase so they could get it off the inventory. And what's happening from what I'm hearing there is now they're seeing monthly, they get a new sheet. Those home prices are going up every month.
Yeah, new construction prices are really going up.
And land costs are going up too. Talked to some other developers, and if it wasn't already taken down in inventory by a builder, that new price, and that's what they're worried about. Some of the things as far as increase in pricing is that if a lot hasn't already been taken down by a track builder like that in that price range you're talking about, that land cost is almost double for the new ones coming down, is what I've been told.
And you can see a lot of new development. I'm sure that's true across North Texas, but especially in the Grapevine Colleyville area, as quickly as they get those lots online, the builders are snapping them up.
That's right. And you know what? It's exciting. I mean, I got to tell you, I don't know about you guys, but I've been beat up pretty hard the last 5 years being in this business. The real estate market has been tough, and there's been a lot of people leave our industry. Mm-hmm. Right now, at least in the mortgage side, it's hard to find talented people. And if you're out there and you are talented and you need a job in the mortgage business, please give me a call, because we're looking for processors as well. And you're looking for listing agents. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there were realtors that left the market over the last 5 years as well. Mm-hmm. Do you find that hard to find talent, really good talent?
For us, yes. I mean, and we'll talk more about our team later, but we specialize, and it's a high caliber type of person that we would only consider that would be the right fit culturally and customer service skills and all for our customers.
Great. So we talked a little bit about North Texas as a whole. What are you seeing? Let's drill down to your neck of the woods where you focused. And one thing I will tell you, we get a lot of realtors on the show that have teams spread out throughout the Metroplex, and they're specialists in Plano, they're specialists in Fort Worth, they're specialists in downtown, and they have different team members that take care of all of that. Maybe you can help our listeners understand why they should call the Wall team. I mean, where's your area of focus?
Well, we specialize in, we call it the mid-cities, and the main cities would be Grapevine, Colleyville, Southlake, Keller, and the HEB, that whole corridor. Okay. Northeast Tarrant County. Our office is in Colleyville. We have a lot of business in the city of Colleyville and Grapevine. That's our backyard, but we sell a lot of homes in Keller, HEB, and Southlake.
Okay, so you know that market. Mm-hmm. Tell me what's going on specifically in that marketplace. Yeah,
we're seeing a big change there too. And I pulled some information which I thought was really interesting that ranks the different cities in the North Texas area by hotness ratio. And I'll just let you know that the number one The hottest one is Southeast Arlington. They are selling more homes than are coming on the market. So they have a 1 month supply. And if you'll compare that to just say Colleyville has a 23.2% hotness ratio. That means 23% of the homes being listed are going under contract, and there's a 3.9 month supply. And a year ago, there was a 6.5 month supply.
Wow.
So I see it when I go on appointments. It's a totally different picture than it was a year ago. And many people who were very disappointed in the price we could list their home for, and it didn't sell even at that price, are putting it on the market now at a slightly higher price, and it's gone in a day.
Wow.
So that's interesting. Southlake is a 4.3 month supply. Then we have Bedford and Euless, which is a lower average price range, and there's only a 2 month supply in those two areas. And anything we list, Bedford is extremely hot.
Kind of goes back to your price point range, what you were talking about, the hot, the 100 to 200 price point range is really going fast. We're getting a lot of people getting out of apartments probably into that's maybe a first-time buyer or maybe second-time buyer, or maybe they've gone from a smaller home to a slightly larger home, which within their means. You're listening to Real Talk Texas, and we have in our studio today the Wall team of RE/MAX Heritage in the Mid-Cities area. We've got Larry and Laurie Wall, and they are experts in that area. They've been doing that business in that marketplace, Laurie, for close to 30 years, and as a team for almost 20 years. And so they are the people that you need to call if you're in the Mid-Cities area. So they're experts. And what I'm going to do right now is give you a number to send a text to. It's 817-925-2546. That's 817-925-2546. Just send buy or sell. We'll put you in touch with the Wall team. They're great people to work with, and they'll give you that free consultation to let you know what your house could sell for, or maybe figure out what you want to buy and give that guidance. We're going to talk in the next few minutes. In the next segment, we're going to get into what's the secret sauce. Okay, how do you execute well in a market like today? So stay tuned to Real Talk Texas here on KLIF AM 570.